You are back with Get Connected. Mike Agerbo here with John Beeler. I want to talk about something that's kind of new that you probably haven't heard of, but it's going to change the way that we see and use power adapters. We all use them for our mobile devices, laptops and cell phones and what have you. There's a new type that's making, the technology is making them even smaller now. And the technology is called GaN, and that stands for gallium nitride. I don't know if I'm even saying that correctly. Well, we've got an expert on the line. His name is Jim Witham. He's the CEO of a company out of Ottawa called Ganz Systems. Thanks for joining us today.
Glad to be here, Mike.
So explain to our listeners in layman's term, if you can, what this technology is all about and the dream and the promise of it.
Sure. Well, GaN's a material. It's a semiconductor material. And we use it to make power transistors. So what are power transistors? They're the basic building block used in any type of power electronics. And like you said, that could be a power adapter that you use to charge your phone or your computer, all the way up to the electric motor for an electric vehicle. Kind of anything that uses power transistors, and GaN makes the best power transistors in the world.
And so why is this better?
Yeah, fundamentally, the GaN power transistors switch really fast, like 1 million times faster than a silicon transistor that has been used in the past. So, why is that important? For two reasons. One, when you switch really fast, you cut out losses. You cut out power losses, which are the bane of any power system. We all want to take the energy, the electricity, and turn it into useful work and not into heat. And GaN does that a lot better. And then the second reason is when you switch really fast, is that you can make things small. Switch all the electronic components when you switch a higher frequency get smaller. And that's kind of the trick or the benefit or the feature that we use to make all these tiny chargers and tiny electric vehicle motors.
Well, it's interesting because I've just seen that I've only become aware of this over the past few months, to be honest. And the reason why is the power adapters that are coming out from companies like Belkin, the consumer companies, have gotten dramatically smaller and giving even more power, which I'm excited about because I don't like lugging around a big power adapter for my my laptop.
Well, especially with the MacBooks, for example, they have a fairly decent size little power block that you plug into your device, USB-C, typically on the newer devices. These GaN devices are half the size, and they have other USB ports on the same connector as well. So it's much more portable for travel. It's much more useful because you don't have to plug in your phone or something else into something else. You can just use the same adapter.
What are the downsides of this, Jim?
Well, maybe we get to that after that. I have one of those adapters here because I think, picture's worth 1,000 words.
Yes.
This is the adapter that shipped with my computer. I won't name the name of the company because it's kind of big and clunky. And here's the adapter that I use. It's actually 1/3 the size of the one that shipped. You can see it's super thin. It's super light. And I love it. It fits great in my backpack. It fits wonderfully in somebody's purse. It just slips into your pocket. And kind of the only problem I have right now is I'm still carrying around this old brick so that I can show people how sexy the new GaN adapter is. So it literally is a brick in my backpack because I don't use it anymore.
That's a Gym World problem, I think.
Oh, that's too bad. No, I'm so excited about this because like half the weight in my my nap or my backpack when I'm traveling is power adapters.
Yeah,
literally. So Jim, and again, if you want to see these, check our video podcast up on our website, getconnectedmedia.com. Jim, like, what are the downsides to this? Is there any danger? Like, will these things, are they more susceptible to anything blowing up or heat or what have you?
Yeah, absolutely. It's new. We've been developing this technology for the past decade. The power industry is super conservative. And so we go through all the testing and reliability to show that these devices last for a very long time. So there really isn't any downside. It's kind of the inner workings of the power systems, and we've taken care of all the safety implications of that for the consumers.
Well, so we've been talking about, the consumer devices, the laptops and what have you, but, you were talking about cars as well. What is it going to mean for cars in the future?
Yeah, well, I think the world needs to go to electric vehicles. There's too much carbon in our air, and we've got to stop putting that there. And electric vehicles is one of the big answers for us in the world. When you're making an electric vehicle, there's three main pieces of equipment. One's the charger to charge the batteries. A second is the power converters to power up all the electronics inside the car. And the third is the actual electric motor itself. By using GaN, we can make those electronics more efficient. So we waste less of the battery life and the cars go longer. We can also make all the electronics like a third the size. When you make things a third the size, they're cheaper. It also makes the overall car cheaper. And one of the, I think, impediments to electric vehicles is we need to get the price down of those things so they're equivalent to an internal combustion engine. And then everybody's going to want to buy one.
It's a good question on price. Is the price the same for these adapters on the consumer side?
Yeah, so fundamentally, the GaN transistor is a little bit more expensive than the older silicon transistor. On really high power systems like a EV, though, we can take other components, money out of other components, and make EV chargers, for example, less expensive. For a very small power adapter, like for a phone or for a computer, there's a slight increase in price just because there's just not that much dollars to take out of the existing piece of equipment.
Well, I found that...
Take my money. Just for the sheer weight, right?
But I've even found, again, to use my MacBook example, the GaN version of the adapter that's compatible with my MacBook is half the price of what Apple's charging.
Well, there's a bit of an Apple premium, typically.
Yes.
We're talking right now about a new technology called GaN and GaN transistors. GaN standing for gallium nitride technology. If you're looking for a new type of adapter for your laptop or a replacement one, look for that. Trust me, it's going to be half to a third of the size, still giving you all the power as well. We're talking with Jim Witham. He is the CEO of an Ottawa-based company called Ganz Systems. Jim, tell us a little bit about your company.
So Ganz Systems was founded about a decade ago. We're in Ottawa. Some people say, why Ottawa? It was a nice mix of entrepreneurial spirit in Ottawa. It's the capital of Canada, so there was a nice small fab where we could make our initial products. And a lot of my design engineers come out of the Nortel legacy, where GaN was, first experimented with 15, 20 years ago. We're a global company. We build all our products mostly in Taiwan with TSMC, and we have sales, marketing, and application engineering throughout the world.
Where can people find out more about GaN Systems, Jim?
www.gansystems.com. We're open source. We've got tons of information about our transistors, how to use them in systems, schematics, BOMs, lots of information there on the website.
Thanks for joining us today, Jim.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
That was Jim Witham. He is the CEO of a cool company out of Ottawa called Ganz Systems. And again, if you're looking for a new replacement adapter for your laptop or your mobile device, you got to get one of these power adapters that have that technology. And again, it's GaN, standing for gallium nitride. I'll remember that one day. But it is simply amazing. If you do any traveling and you want to cut the weight down, these the new power adapters are like half to a third the size, still giving you all the power.